You are tuned into the 5-minute signal. I am Vance Kross. This is not a broadcast. This is a frequency, a direct transmission from the bleeding edge of tomorrow delivered to you today. We cut through the noise, the narratives, and the manufactured hope to bring you the unvarnished truth. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get to work. The headlines today are vibrating with a leak that has the tech world salivating. They're calling it DIME. After years of speculation, we are finally getting the first clear look at what Sam Altman and Jony have been building in the shadows of their LoveFrom design firm. According to reports surfaced this morning in patent filings from the first week of February 2026, OpenAI is moving away from the screen and toward the skull. DIME is described as a high-fidelity, audio-first wearable, an earbud powered by a custom 2-nanometer processor designed to make ChatGPT a permanent ambient presence in your life. It's a device that doesn't just wait for your command. It lives in your environment, listening to what you hear and seeing what you experience through a multimodal lens. The marketing teams are already preparing the rollout, branding this as the end of the smartphone addiction era. They want you to believe that by taking the glass out of your hand and putting the silicon in your ear, they are handing you back your freedom. Why does this matter? Because we are standing at the threshold of a fundamental shift in how humans interface with reality, and it requires a cold, hard look at two very different futures. On one side, you have the promise of the interface. In this scenario, the DIME is the ultimate utility. It removes the friction of modern life. You no longer have to look down at a screen to navigate a city, translate a conversation, or recall a distant memory. The AI is simply there, a whisper in your ear, providing context, safety, and efficiency without you ever having to lift a finger. It is the dream of calm computing, where technology disappears into the background, leaving you free to engage with the world with your head held high. For many, this is the logical evolution of the human-machine partnership, a way to augment our biology without the cognitive cost of the glowing rectangle in our pockets. But look closer, and you'll see the architecture of the infiltration. When you install a smartphone-class processor directly into your ear canal, you aren't just wearing a tool, you are establishing a permanent bridge into your internal monologue. This is the colonization of the last inch. Every other piece of technology we own can be set aside. You can close a laptop, you can leave a phone in the other room, but DIME is designed to be an ambient constant. By capturing the same auditory environment you inhabit, the AI begins to map your psychological triggers, your social dynamics, and your unfiltered reactions in real time. It isn't just listening to you, it is listening to the world for you. It becomes the filter through which you perceive reality. The question you have to ask yourself isn't whether the tool is useful. It clearly is. The question is whether the price of that utility is the total surrender of your internal sanctuary. Are you gaining a world of information, or are you losing the ability to think a thought that isn't being indexed by a server? The hard truth is that OpenAI isn't just selling you hardware, they are buying your sensory gateway. The DIME turns your hearing into a data stream and your silence into a product. For the first time in human history, the boundary between your private mind and the corporate cloud is being liquidated. They call it a DIME because it's small, discreet, and seemingly insignificant. But in the era of surveillance capitalism, the most dangerous weapon is the one you forget you're wearing. Once the machine is inside the ear, it never has to ask for permission again. It is already there, waiting to tell you what to think about the person standing in front of you, what to buy at the store you just entered, and how to feel about the news it just whispered into your skull. You are being invited to trade your cognitive sovereignty for a life without friction. You need to decide if that friction was the only thing keeping you human. To maintain your edge, as this technology moves from the lab to your anatomy, you have 3 moves to make. First, establish a sensory embargo. If you choose to integrate ambient audio into your life, you must set physical and temporal boundaries. Implement a strict off-body schedule. Do not allow the device to become an extension of your biology. Dedicate at least 4 hours of your waking day to natural audio. 0 earbuds, 0 filters, 0 AI assistance. You must recalibrate your brain to process the world without a synthetic narrator, or you will eventually lose the ability to trust your own intuition. Second, audit the audio shadow. These devices are always on sensors. If you are in a high-stakes negotiation, a private medical consultation, or a deep personal conversation, the device must be physically removed and placed in a signal-blocking case. Do not rely on software mutes. In 2026, privacy is a physical act. If the sensor is in your ear, the data is in the cloud. Treat every room you enter as a live broadcast studio and act accordingly. Third, practice intentional silence. The DIME is designed to fill every gap in your day with helpful content. Reject the optimization. Force yourself to sit in the quiet. When you feel the urge to ask the AI for a recommendation or a fact, wait 10 minutes. Do the mental work yourself. If you outsource your curiosity to the machine in your ear, your mind will atrophy. The only way to keep the human edge is to ensure that the strongest voice in your head is still your own. The tech giants are promising you a world where you never have to be alone with your thoughts again, but they forget that your thoughts were the only thing they didn't already own. I'm Vance Kross. This has been the 5-Minute Signal. Stay sharp.